Greetings, loved ones, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another I Love This Stuff with Meghan Hughes. I'm Meghan Hughes, and this is the series where I talk about all the things I've been loving over the past month, normally, but oh boy, I haven't filmed one of these in 4 months. And I didn't really mean for that to happen, but it just kind of happened. And I kind of forgot about this series temporarily, and then I got a lot of suggestions to bring them back. And so I was like, damn, people actually really do enjoy I Love This Stuff It. So here I am making another one, and we have so much to catch up on over the past 4 months, all of the things I've been loving. So let's just go ahead and get right the frig into it. I had a hard time saying that sentence, but let us start with our bathroom goodies, as always. So normally I start off with essential oils, and I don't really buy new essential oil scents anymore. I feel like I think I have like 26 essential oils or something absurd. And I just feel like I have all of the scents I could want currently. So I don't really buy new ones that I fall in love with. But these past few months, I've been in love with buying in bulk. So I got my lavender essential oil in an 100 milliliter bottle, and then my tea tree oil in a 30 milliliter bottle. And these were both such great investments, honestly, because I haven't had to buy all of those little tiny glass bottles. Like, I would normally get the 10 milliliter ones and then run out so fast because these are my most frequently used. So if you use an essential oil a lot, I highly recommend buying them in a bigger size so that you can just have them for way longer, okay? Totally worth it. Love these so friggin' much. I get my essential oils from Plant Therapy, and we'll link these babies down below, okay? And now I have kind of a face mask slash face wash situation. I made this in a DIY video a couple months back, and I'll link it on the screen if you guys missed it, but it's an oat and rose honey mask, and I was using it as a face mask, but sometimes I just use this in the shower as like a quick face wash, and it's just so good. It makes my skin feel so soft and nourished and just like kind of more moisturized, and I feel like it does a really great job at exfoliating because of the oats that are in it and the rose petals that are in it as well, and it just smells so damn good too. Such a plus. So we love her work. Love a good DIY face mask. I know you guys have some extra time on your hands with this quarantine season, so if you want to make some nice DIY recipes that I have featured in the past, I will link some videos down below for like DIY cleaning recipes and face products or body products, that whole kind of a thing. My next favorite in my bathroom goodies is the Last Swab. I talked about this product in a sustainability video recently featuring things that I no longer buy, and I was talking about Q-tips and all this kind of stuff, and I said that you could get this, and I didn't have it handheld to show in that video, but I have her now. I have the little, it's like a pistachio green, if you will, and it's so freaking cute. And you can get this for 10% off with the link in the description, and it's just a reusable swab, baby. I swab my ears every single time I get out of the shower, and this one I just use beep bop, boop bop, and then I wash it off, put it back in this, and she dries. So it's really great. You don't have to keep buying just packs on packs of those Q-tips, and you can just have your little one. I know that some people are like really grossed out by this, but I am not, and I think that it's very innovative and great. So I love my Last Swab. They have them for like ear swabs, and then they also have cosmetic swabs so that you can use them when you're like touching up your makeup as well. So choose what you please. And now let's get into kitchen goodies. I don't have anything handheld to show you, but I do have 2 pages to recommend on Instagram that I've been baking so much stuff from, not just baking, but cooking in general, so many recipes from. And that's what I've been doing with a lot of my time recently in the kitchen, is just going on the old, well, I always do this, but I just go on Instagram to my saved tab, and I go through all of the recipes that I've saved that look good to me. And most of them are from these 2 accounts. The first one being Rabbit and Wolves. I love her recipes so much. I make probably 1 a week, and they're always delicious. She's definitely the most consistently good with her recipes, so highly recommend that if you are looking for more vegan recipe ideas. Just follow her on Instagram. So good. And then the next one is my friend Tara, the Medicine Circle, and she makes a lot of like foraged food recipes as well as gluten-free and refined sugar-free recipes. I actually made a video recently making one of her desserts, which was so delicious and so wonderful, and I just love all of her recipes so much. We've become great friends online on the old Instagram, and we reply back to each other's stories all the time. And one time she just told me that she was going to email me 2 of her ebooks that are normally available on her Patreon page. So I got them for free and I use them very often, and I'm very blessed for that reason. And if you want some of her recipe books, you can go and check out her Patreon. It's very affordable to my understanding, and you will not regret it because the recipes are so fucking good. I just slammed my essential oils together, so sorry. Anyways, I have been doing a lot of cooking, and I've also been doing a lot of working out. I've been working out consistently. I think that this is week 10 for me, this week that we're on. So yeah, 3 to 4 times a week for the past 10 weeks. It's been great, not only for my physical health, but also my mental health. So Sweat, that is the app that I use. I probably mentioned it on the old live stream, on the old podcast. I don't know, but that's what I use. I am on the BBG beginner program in week 10. In the workouts that they suggest to you, they have like a plan that they will be like, hey, you should do lower body today. And you don't necessarily have to follow the plan. You can do it literally whenever. But I like to follow the plan because I pay for it. It's a paid app. It's $20 a month. And also I pretty much do like an upper, lower, and total body throughout the week. And then more recently, I have started using this new program called Stoned and Toned. I believe it's just a website. I'm not sure if they have an app, but it's basically what the name says. You get stoned and you get toned, baby. And they show all of it in the workout videos, and they're so much fun. I did an Instagram live recently doing one of those workouts, and I had such a blast. I've been doing more Instagram lives since the quarantine started, and it's just been great. So I guess that's also something I've been loving is IG Live, but I might transition to Twitch as well. Anyways, I'm on a tangent, but Stoned and Toned, so great. Love it so much. The workouts are so much fun. And the instructor that I use most often on that platform is Molly, and I really love her work. But yeah, that's just something I've been loving so much recently is working out again, because it makes me feel very good about my body, mind, and soul. Love it. But I've also been doing the antithesis of moving my body, and I've been just lounging around on the couch playing Animal Crossing a lot, and I have been loving Animal Crossing. Honestly, I am addicted to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Ever since it came out, it's been a little over a week since it did, and I have played every day. I fucking love it. It's so much fun. My character is so cute. I'll put a photo of her on the screen. I recently just discovered the like whole custom design situation, so I've been playing around with new outfits and new designs for the interior of my house. And last night I was just catching shooting stars for so long, and now we can make all of these recipes with star fragments, and it's just such a fun game. My sister was asking me what it entails, and I was like, well, basically we just run around catching fish and hitting rocks and catching bugs, and then I sell them to the store, and I, you know, build infrastructure on my island and make my house look cute and make my outfits look cute, and you just keep leveling up. Like at the beginning of when I started playing, I know I'm talking about this a lot, so this is the last thing I'll say, but I just didn't think that I would be able to do so much in one game, and I just feel like I keep unlocking new fun things, and more villagers are moving to the island, and we're getting so much more done every day, and it's just, oh, what a thrill. So if you've been playing Animal Crossing a lot, also please comment down below, because I have never loved a game more. Actually, I really love The Sims, but also just Animal Crossing, man. It's new, it's hip, it's fun, it's cool. I feel like I'm in the loop finally. And speaking of being in the loop, there's a lot of new shows that have been popping up on my radar. I've been watching them, loving them, eating them all up. And because of quarantine, I have been doing a lot of that. A lot of consumption of programs, if you will. So, all of my favorite shows. Here we go. Got a whole ass list. What I have been loving to watch is Westworld season 3. It just began. That's Finley and I's favorite show. It's like kind of hard on the mind at times to understand because there's so many little hidden things that they just sprinkle into the plot, and you're like, wait, what? Is that what that means? And then you have to kind of like decipher the meaning of the episodes. It's kind of a mindfuck show, if you will, but definitely worth it to get into if you're looking for a new binge-worthy show. It really also, my favorite thing about that show is like it speaks a lot to the human experience and what is right and wrong and good and evil and, you know, that whole kind of a thing. So love it so much. Evan Rachel Wood is my queen, and I just love the character Dolores so much. She's truly a feminist icon. Also, I loved the show High Fidelity on Hulu. Zoe Kravitz is also my queen, and so that was kind of like the draw-in for me to watch the show, and then I just fell in love with her character. She works in a record store. She also, it kind of like ties in pop culture and music into her life and the plot of like going back through her love life, and so it's kind of like all of my favorite things. Love, music, record stores, Zoe Kravitz. It couldn't get better. So I really liked that too. And then also on Hulu, Looking for Alaska. I read that book sometime either last year or the year before. I was very late to the party with reading the book, and then I was also late to the party on watching the show, and I fucking loved it. I thought that they did such a great job. Normally, like with little fires everywhere, I'll get into this in a second. I feel like sometimes books aren't done justice in the way that they're represented in, you know, TV or movies. Like, I'm sure that you guys understand with some of your favorite books being turned into, you know, consumable media to watch. But I really felt like they did a great job with Looking for Alaska. Also, the soundtrack was fire, and it was just like a very nostalgic kind of thing to watch for me because it was set in the South. It was set in Alabama, and I'm pretty sure that's where they filmed it. Maybe they filmed parts of it in Georgia because it looked a lot like Georgia, and it was just like, oh, loved it. Thought it was really fantastic. I also, on Hulu, honestly a big fan of Hulu lately, but well, I always am. I love the show This Is Us. The recent season just wrapped up and I finished it, and I felt like they really packed a lot into that last episode, but This Is Us is kind of my most like dramatic show that I watch. It's kind of like my my soap opera show, if you will, because I feel like a lot of the plot is very soap opera-y. Like, it's so intertwined and there's so much drama and like all of this like family shit that happens, but it's so well done and the storyline is just really great. I've been a fan of that show for probably 2 years now or something, and it's incredible. So highly recommend. Also, if you're looking for a binge-worthy show, check it the hell out. And aside from just shows that I've been loving, I've also been watching a shit ton of movies with Finley, specifically Avatar. Why didn't I see that before? It was on Disney Plus and I was like, holy shit, I've never seen Avatar before, and I feel like I was just so behind on watching it. We watched it with all of the lights off, and it was truly a movie experience. Like, I felt like I was in a theater, you know, even though I can't go to the movie theater. I was experiencing it in that way. It was such a beautiful film. I felt like it was a very good representation of like Americans trying to take over what's not theirs. So, whew, loved it. Definitely don't come for me in the comments. I know I was behind, but loved it. Also, Jojo Rabbit. That was another movie where when I first read the description and saw the trailer, I was like, a Hitler movie. I don't know about this. But it was set in Nazi Germany, but it's a comedy, which kind of like, that was what drew me not to watch it at the beginning. I was like, no, like they can't be making light of this topic, but they did it very well. It was very funny. It was very beautiful. It almost reminded me of kind of like a Wes Anderson vibe. It was great. But Philly and I watched that the other night, and I was very happy that I actually chose to watch it, because at first I was like, no, I don't think I'll be interested in that. But my friend Scarlett recommended it to me, and it was a fire film. And then last night we watched The Interview, and also that movie came out in fucking like what, 2014? Never saw it. Loved it. Hilarious. Also kind of a political movie in that way of like making fun of a world leader, and it was so funny. It was hilarious. Also, it was beautiful. It was shot obviously not in North Korea. It was shot in Vancouver, British Columbia. And when we were watching kind of like the landscape shots, I was telling Finley, I was like, was this filmed in Oregon? It looks like the fucking Pacific Northwest. And it was. It was the Pacific Northwest. Oh, BC. Beautiful, beautiful place. Anyways, loved it, loved it. highly recommend. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it. And now what I've been listening to is a shit ton of stuff. I mean, 4 months of music, we have a lot to catch up on. Circles by Mac Miller. Oh my god. 2 new songs of his were very recently released because they were kind of like the extended version of the album. They're incredible. The album in itself is like everything I could have wanted as like an end to his musical story. Obviously, I'll always love, cherish, and listen to his music for the rest of my friggin' life, but I felt like it kind of wrapped up the story of his albums. So I love it. Love him. R.I.P. Aside from Circles, Phoebe Bridgers has been releasing, I think she released 1 new song, maybe 2, but I've just been listening to a lot of her old stuff too, and Phoebe is one of my favorite female artists of all time, and I just love her dearly, so that's been really nice to revisit. But yeah, she has a new song called like The Garden Song or some shit. I don't remember the name, but I've been bumping it. Great stuff. Also, Peach Pit has a new song called Shampoo Bottles, and I think one other one, but Shampoo Bottles is my favorite, and I've been trying to learn it on ukulele. It's so good. And speaking of trying to learn songs on ukulele, I've been trying to learn Finley's sister's band's music as well. So yes, Finley's sister, Delilah, she has a band called Fooly Cooly, but on Spotify and stuff, it's just FLKL. It's her husband, their friend Brittany, and then their friend Mike. And they actually started the band in high school and then reunited and made a new album last year. And when they released it, we were so fucking hyped. We were actually on the road trip when they released it and just listened to it so much. My favorite songs off of it are The Wolf and the Moon, Casual Dating, Attention Please, and Fight Off Your Demons. Some of my faves. And I've been trying to learn The Wolf and the Moon on ukulele, and she sent me the chords recently, and it's fucking over my head, but I'm trying, man. But yeah, definitely go and check out their band because they're very like acoustic punk, but also just like the female vocalists in that band, Delilah and Brittany, are so fire. So love that. Love a good female punk artist. And speaking of which, Finley put me onto this band, MNOP, and apparently it's one of Delilah's friends who heads that band. She hasn't released new music in a very long time, so I've just been listening to one of their old projects, but it's so fucking good. I'll link it down below, okay? I have lots to talk about. So MNOP, love it. Janae Aiko just released a new album as well, and it's so fucking good. Holy shit. Love her so much. And then also another band that I've been listening to a lot of is Babe Corner, which if you guys watch Haley Blay here on YouTube, she's the bassist in that band, and they're just so good. Like an all-female kind of, they're kind of like a rock band, but also like a soft punk kind of a band. I really don't know how to describe it, but just go and listen to their new Killer EP. It's oof, magnifique. I got it on a little tiny 7-inch vinyl as well, and I've been bumping it. And that is pretty much, no, that's not the last thing I wanted to show. I know I have talked about this album 810 times. I've made a video reacting to it as well when it first came out, but my signed, beautiful Control vinyl from SZA. I made an entire podcast episode recently just talking about SZA's discography and my relationship with her music. And the reason why I'm pulling this out to show you guys is, you know, gorgeous green vinyl, is because on my birthday, Finley and I, we had a quarantine celebration for myself, and it was honestly so much fucking fun. Thank you for all of the birthday wishes and for watching my 23 lessons learned video as well. I think that was my last upload, so you guys can go watch if you missed it. But on my actual birthday, we were playing a lot of beer pong, and I was letting Finley just pick out random vinyl to play for us, and he put this on at one point and was like, "This one's for you, baby." And I was like, holy shit, this album just will always hit. Like, it's just so, oh god, I love her so much. The graphic design, the production, the vocals, everything, the meaning of the songs, the lyrics, she makes my life complete. Love her. So been bumping a lot of that again recently. And also, I've been reading a lot. Well, I should probably be reading more than I am and playing less Animal Crossing, let's be honest. But it's fine. We're fine, okay? These are the 4 books that I've read in 2020. I have a book club, actually, and you guys can find out more about that on my Bookstagram, which is at Mother Truck and Bookworms. And I'll post on there whenever we're about to read a new book. If you want to join in on our April book club, we are going to be reading Aristotle and Dante Discover Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir Sains? Don't know how to say his last name. Sains. I really don't fucking know, man, but this is the book we're reading. It was recommended to me by my friend Ariel, and she did a great job recommending our last book club book. So I just wanted to briefly go over what I have read. Obviously you can go and read my in-depth reviews on my Bookstagram as well as my Goodreads account, but this was our March book club book, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. This was my first book that I ever read from Hank Green because it was his first ever that he wrote. This was kind of like a sci-fi novel as well as just like a commentary on humanity and being in the public eye novel. It was very interesting. I loved it. It had some kind of like robotics as well as like extraterrestrial life vibes to it, and it was just great. Great story, loved it. Let me know in the comments if you read any of these along with me. This was our February book club book, Educated by Tara Westover. I really loved this. This was actually my first memoir that I ever read. Actually, no, that's a lie. I read Maud Sutton's Did I Ever Wake Up? And that was kind of a memoir. It like went into his life and shit. But Tara Westover lived a wild life. Oh my God. This book is kind of about like the thirst for education as well as people who kind of like renounce the main way of living and are kind of like doomsdayers as well. It also talks a lot about mental health. It was just a beautiful story, as well as kind of terrifying at times. Not like in a horror way, but just like a reality of how toxic people can be, kind of a way. And then this wasn't a book club book. It was way too big to go into depth on for 1 month. I read this over the course of an entire year, and this is one of my favorite books of all time. If you've been thinking about getting into this book and are looking for a new quarantine read, I would highly recommend reading Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. But yeah, it took me an entire goddamn year to finish. And I'm so happy that I read it the way I did. I kind of like studied it and like underlined shit and just really, you can't even see. I don't know why I'm trying to show you, but one of my favorite books of all time. So many lessons were learned from this, which I shared in my last video, and just loved it so much. This is truly some hardcore feminist reading right here, and it's a necessary book for all women to read. Honestly, even if you don't identify as a feminist, you would get some kicks out of it, okay? And then our January book club book, which I read on our road trip at the beginning of the year, was Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. And this has recently been turned into a Hulu show, and I feel like the book is just so much fucking better, honestly. I have some quarrels with the show. I really love Reese in it, and I love Kerry Washington in it as actresses, but I feel like they really kind of skewed Mia and Pearl's characters and brought in a lot of aspects like to the storyline which were never in the book. Like, it really just confuses me why they make their race such a huge kind of topic of interest, and like characters have some kind of quarrels with them because of their race, but that was never in the book. It's like, why did you make that a part of the show? Also, I just feel like they made Mia just an unlikable character and like kind of highlighted her like addictive parts of her personality, which were like never mentioned in the book, or they were kind of more like grazed over. And I feel like this book in itself, I said this in my review of it on my Bookstagram, I just felt like it did a really great job of highlighting like good and evil, kind of like Westworld does. Like, it really went into the decisions that we make as humans and how it doesn't make us bad people because of the things that we do, but we just have differing opinions. And it kind of talked also a lot about like what it means to be an artist and what it means to be a mother. And I feel like it kind of talks about that in the show, but the book just did it so much better. So please read the book if you never have. That's basically what I'm coming back to. And that's the end of this video. I had a lot to discuss today. I obviously could go on for a long ass period of time sharing my opinions on all of these things, but I'm just going to say I love this stuff. Please get it, read it, watch it, do it, all the things. Everything will be linked down below for you guys to indulge in. And I hope that you're healthy, safe, and well. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up for me. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Ring the notifications bell if you would like to be notified when I upload. You can become a patron of mine to support my earnings for this month. I have been so active on my Patreon this past month and during quarantine, so if you want to go and support me on there, I would be so grateful. And yeah, man, I'll just see you guys in my next vid. Stay smiling. Bye, guys.